Hi, Gail.
Oh, there, Katrina. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm actually doing very well. I think by the end of the month we'll be there.
Wow, great.
Yeah, we're due to close on the 22nd now. So finally one house, not two.
That'll be a huge relief, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, it will be. It was nice because it gave us the opportunity to do the floors when we weren't there, but also, you know, we were planning for February 15th and it ended up being May 22nd.
I know how difficult and challenging moves are, especially these days. Hold on, I'm just
Yep.
having update everybody.
Hi, Gail. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Earl.
Can you see me?
I can even see you. Yes,
Okay, we're all set then.
you're all set. Yes, and we are this is being recorded, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
All right, so I expect that Pat and Toby will be joining us as well as the homeowners of 540.
Okay.
Katrina will do your public hearing first.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. I was telling Gail that, well, I'm finally going to be there on May 22nd, full time with no other house in Virginia.
You've left Virginia completely now?
Well, we're going to. We
Yeah.
finally sold it. Our
Okay.
first contract fell through because the guy couldn't get financing.
Yep.
So then we had
Yep.
to put it back on the market. And now we have a really nice extended family that wants the
Perfect.
property and
Yeah.
can use it. You know, we have a very large barn here and they're going to do some self-boarding for horses in the
Perfect.
barn. And it's 20 acres. So
That's
they're
wonderful.
planning to build
Yeah.
like another house for the parents and then the
Oh,
kids
wow.
are getting the house we have.
Very nice. It'll be a compound.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's subdividable, you know, when we had to put it back on the market,
Yeah.
I said, man, I should have done that subdivision. I should never waited for my husband and who said,
Yeah.
oh, we're never gonna subdivide.
Yeah.
Because I think if I had done the subdivision, I could have just sold both separately very
Sure.
fast.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to stay together as a family
Yeah,
that'll use it. Yeah, it's great.
yeah, yeah.
And it's a lovely time of year to start up here in Woodstock. So
I heard something about mayflies. What are those? Are those big black flies?
They're little ones. They're little black biting bugs. Biting flies.
Oh,
they're gnats, basically.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
baby.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
no-see-em kind of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
mayflies are farther north.
oh, those big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the gnats merely leave little itchy bites around, where you've got a hat or,
Right. Do they go away after a while, or are they around all summer?
they're only intense for a little bit of time, a short period
Yeah, week or two at the most.
Yeah.
Well, I have always told my husband that I wear eau de off all summer because of the mosquitoes and everything
Yeah.
else.
That's true. Mosquitoes, ticks, everything.
Well,
Yep.
if there's one in the room, it will find me and bite me 20 times. You know, I'm that person.
There's usually sequentially one bug after another, but there's
Right.
always a bug all season. So
All right. So Earl, in terms of who's here, we've got Katrina Dawson, and then they're 582, and then Nicola Johnson, and let's see, I don't remember your wife's name, Nicola.
Julie. Hi. Julie Watt.
Julie what?
Exactly.
How do you spell it?
Oh, sorry. W-A-T-T.
I had an Uncle Watt. Uncle Not Helen Watt. A great name. And Nicola, is it Nicola?
NICHOLA.
Chola. Okay, great.
So, and just so you both know, we're being, the town records these as they're playing out, just make sure. So we're waiting for our two other commission members. And I'm going to go off camera briefly while I feed the cat who has chosen this moment to wake up and be hungry.
Always.
Cats will do that.
Yep.
I have that with the dogs. I'm in the middle of a conference call and one of them sees like a horse rider outside and just goes nuts.
Yeah. I'm
So-
waiting for hours to do that too.
I'm a little worried because we basically where we are now, we are on a dirt road and we see about maybe 20 cars a day.
Mm.
And of course, we're moving on state road and it's gonna take a while for the dogs to get used to ignore the traffic.
Yes, and all the people walking and it's
Yeah,
a lot, there's a lot of barking in our house.
You have only one dog? The one dog?
We have two.
Oh, you have two. Okay.
we've
Yeah.
got three.
One. Yeah.
We have 3 dogs and 4 horses.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's exciting.
Of course, Katrina, there's also, you're on the corner there, so you're going to get all the academy students as well.
Right,
Yes.
right. So the horses are gonna be fine, you know, the dogs are gonna be just barking forever until they decide that's normal. Yeah.
They'll get used to it pretty fast, is my guess.
Yeah, every dog we've had, you know, barked at the horses for about 2 months and then they decided, well, these guys are denizens over here. We're not gonna bark at them anymore. So they found other things to bark at, like deer, riders, walkers.
Right.
So Gail, your background, is that view from the hill?
Oh, no. This Mount Snowdonia in Wales.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's where my son and daughter-in-law live.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Right.
even nicer.
Mhm. All right, here comes Toby.
Toby's on board.
I believe so.
Hello.
Hi, Toby.
All right, I have to turn you from iPhone to Toby Bishop. So far, so good. And Toby, we are recording.
Okay.
Just now. Now we're just waiting for Pat. So we'll give him 5 minutes.
Yeah, we have a quorum anyway, so.
Yep. Toby, did you and Earl get the updated diagram for the pool?
I did. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know about Toby.
Thank you. The nicely drawn
Yeah, it
rendering.
was great.
And also, Nicola and Julie, I just emailed you the pages from our book about your house.
Oh, I just saw the emails come in and I haven't had a chance to look, but I'm excited to dig through it.
It actually goes all the way back to what's believed to be the original owners. So you'll have
Wow.
Oh, that's exciting.
not every house does, we don't have that kind of information for every house, but it was a nice piece of information.
That's exciting.
Very cool.
Do you have some, Gail, for the McClellan house also?
No, it's been
Again.
in one family for a couple of 100 years or so.
It's had one, yes, basically one family owner.
Yes.
Wow.
I think it was 1796 that they purchased the property or around there. And then the house burnt down and they built something in
Yours does,
1831.
I've got one page of text and one page and then a couple of photographs. So I will send those to
Great.
you.
That's great.
And then we are in the process. In fact, Toby, while we're waiting for Pat, do I recall that you have a digital version of the historic district study?
I have it in pieces, and one of our former colleagues was going to stitch the pieces together electronically, but in my new job, I have access to the software, so I may be able to do that myself now.
All right. All right. Because it's other, right, because we have to get new residents copies of the book. So it's either a matter of printing or digital, which would be much easier.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out and be able to do digital shortly.
Okay, that's good.
I think Jean left a copy behind for me, but I'm not sure. We've been so, in and out, 100 things happening. So
Well, I'll send you the information about your house.
great. Thank you.
What do you think, Gail?
I've sent him a text. Yeah, 1 minute. All right, 6:05, we'll call the special meeting to order. And as it's a special meeting, then we only deal with the items that were on the agenda.
Yep.
And the agenda, and the two items on the agenda are the public hearings for 582 Route 169 and 540 Route 169.
We don't need any alternates.
We do not need any alternates.
Okay, we're all set then.
And so I will open the public hearing. And Earl, if you would read the legal notice.
Good. Can I read them both at once?
Yep.
Okay, good. The public hearing will be held before the Woodstock Historic District Commission on May 6th, 2024 at 6 p.m. for 540 Route 169 concerning a swimming pool and 582 Route 169 concerning roofs and sheds.
All right, now the format for the public hearing is open. We'll take them one at a time. So we'll start with 582 with the Dawsons. And then I'll close that public hearing and we'll finish that up, and then we'll open a second public hearing for the pool. Let's see, the sequence is the homeowner presents their project. Commission members ask questions. If there's any members of the public, and there aren't at this point, but should there be, they have the opportunity to ask questions and you respond to them. We may ask additional questions once the commission is satisfied that they have all the information they need and homeowners are satisfied that they've given us everything they need so that we can make a deliberation. Then I'll ask for a motion from the commission members to close the public hearing. We'll close it. And then we deliberate right here, then and there on the outcome of your application. All right. So, Katrina, you're up.
Yes. Thank you. You might remember that I came in front of the commission in October for building run-in sheds for our horses, 4 of them, 1 in each pasture. At the time, I thought we were going to bring our own sheds over, but transport turned out to be extremely expensive. So we did not bring our own sheds over. And then I thought we would purchase sheds that looked a lot like those. And after we did the tree work, we realized that there was very little shade in the pastures. So we decided to build run-in sheds for the horses that incorporate basically an elongated roof that provides some shade for the horses. In the application this time, I sent you pictures of the sheds as they were built. The square footage is the same. It's not 12 by 16, it's 14 by 14. Right, so in fact, they're a little smaller than what we discussed in October. Still no roofs, still one side open, still just horses going in there, still placed where they were supposed to be placed. Because we weren't bringing them in on the property from somewhere else, but building them with posts that went into the ground. We went to the health and water, whatever that's called, and we got a B110A, 100A permit. We checked with the zoning officer, which we had to do anyway, to make sure that the placement was not within the buffer and everything else. And the zoning officer also approved the sheds. So that's kind of the update on the build of the shades.
All right. I am, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to share my screen. And so this has your updated photos
Right.
of the shed. All right,
Yep.
so the 14 by 14 is the shed itself.
Correct.
And then we need the dimensions of the porch.
I think it's 8 or 9 feet.
So it extends from the 14 feet an additional 9 for the porch
Yes.
area. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
But there's no flooring, nothing. So, and I wish I had a picture for you from the front. The whole front side is open. So it only has 3 sides that are closed, and the entire part that goes into the porch, for lack of a better word, because we had to put posts there to support the roof, is all open. So the horses can go in and out.
Right.
The roof in front is for shade for the horses.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, because it ended up that there were a lot of dead trees on the outside of the property, so we had to do a lot more tree work than I thought we were gonna have to do.
Okay.
So there wouldn't be, we were not sure that there would always be a place that was shaded for the horses during the day, and sometimes in the summer when it gets to be 80 degrees, 90 degrees, 104 in Virginia, you know, they do need the shade.
Right. Do
They
you,
also They
do you-
also like it because you can spray the walls of the shed with insect repellent. And they get in there and they're less bothered by flies.
so whereas in the the original design, there were the sheds, the two that you had in Virginia that you thought you were bringing up, there was about, it looks like about 3 feet when I'm looking at the front, there's about 3 feet of wall on either side of the opening, and the opening is rounded.
Yeah, it's about 1.5 feet, actually,
Okay, so you,
on each side. I don't think we're gonna put anything on it, but if we put anything, there would be like one foot of wall. There wouldn't be a lot.
okay, just one, so now there's very little wall. Okay.
Yeah, there's none right now
On the front, so,
on the front.
so your application then is, what we'd be approving is up to about a 1.5 feet on either side of the front shed itself.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
And the siding is what?
it's wood. It's regular pine.
Mhm.
That's, I guess we're gonna either stain it gray or red.
Okay, all right, so it's just pine, and whereas the ones in Virginia look like they might have been board and batten. There looks like there's a seam. These are just
Yeah,
straight across. There
yep,
is no,
straight across. I don't think there are any seams because it was built on the property, so.
now, do you have
Yeah,
a,
the pine matches the pine that's on the big barn.
Yep.
Right, it's the same layout, like one next to the other.
do you have dimensions on the roof height? Because obviously,
I
no,
think it's 6 feet. The drawing that I made was 6 feet. Could it be longer than that? Yeah, 6 foot from the top of the wall, right? So the highest peak size of the roof is 6 feet.
peak of the
Right.
roof, of the new peak of the roof by itself. 6, all right, and the height of the shed minus the roof?
I think it's like 10 feet or 12 feet.
You're gonna apply for 12. So the total,
I think 12,
It's 10 plus 6.
this 10 plus 6, it's a total 16 foot.
so total height is 16 feet.
Yeah,
All right. Because it's a steeper pitch than I'm gonna stop the
Right.
share. You're gonna share what, do you all remember? What
Yep.
yeah,
the previous one?
because
It
the
is.
previous one didn't have the overhang, you
Right.
didn't need to do as steep a roof, right? So when you do the overhang, you need a steeper roof if you don't want it to. Plus, I don't know, I keep hoping that there's gonna be lots of snow in Connecticut. I'm told there isn't anymore, but you know, you want that snow to fall off the roof by itself.
Right. All right. Earl and Toby, do you want me to pull the pictures back up of the
No,
built? Okay.
I
no, I
remember.
don't need to see them.
Now, the other part of my application was discussing standing seam roofs.
So let's finish
Yeah.
talking about, let's just make sure in terms of questions from the commission members on
Yeah.
the sheds first. Do you have
Right.
any?
I wanted, before you ask me any questions, I wanted to withdraw anything that has to do with the roofs of the sheds. We will come back in front of the commission with the roofs of the sheds a little later on. My husband and I crossed wires. So when we decided that we weren't going to do standing seam roof on the sheds, I thought we were moving back to the asphalt shingle, but he's still considering barn metal or roll-up metal for the sheds and the outbuildings. So I think we will definitely come back to you on the roofing part of that. So that's why I wanted to mention it
Okay. Just
now.
I would highly recommend you do not purchase, order, or commit yourself
Right.
to the material until you have gotten it approved,
Understood.
right? Because even the changes you've made to the design, technically speaking, should not have been made before you submitted a new application and got those, and they went through a public hearing just like this.
Well, apologies. We were going all over the place and we didn't realize that they were going to be so major.
Right. But so, well, so it's good you know now, and that's why I'm just reinforcing that once it's been approved, you can't make any changes
Right.
until you come before us. And we're able to usually work with a reasonable amount of alacrity and get a special meeting in place if it doesn't coincide.
Necessary, right.
All right.
How many sheds are there?
There will be 4.
4 sheds, okay.
Yeah, 1 for each of the paddocks, right? So and the placement is pretty much where I had shown it to the commission, in the back of the pastures.
Yep.
Towards the McClellan Orchard.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, they are visible from, at least some of them are visible from the road. So,
Yeah.
all right. Toby, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. So we have height, roof material. Come back to us on roof. And if, let's see, if you go with whether it's metal or whatever kind of shingles you put on, unless it's wood shingles, the color will be integral to the material that you choose. So the color is also will need to be approved.
Right. You know, we're thinking right now, we're thinking of black, so don't worry about red or turquoise. You know, and you might have noticed that the letters on the mailbox did not end up being turquoise, but maybe I shouldn't mention that.
That's okay. The color of your letters is not important to us.
Right.
Right. And then the matter of the roofs.
The roofs, I think what we will do is as soon as my husband decides on what he wants to do on the sheds, we will come before you with the roof material for the sheds and the outbuildings. We're going to keep the roof materials for the sheds and the outbuildings the same. And then the house, we're still discussing, you know, there's still a little bit of time left in those shingles that are on the house, but we're still considering the standing seam roof for the house or actual cedar shingles or something else.
As of now, you are withdrawing your application for the installation of metal roofs on all
Correct.
Okay,
Correct. I am withdrawing that application, but, you know, sometime maybe not in a special meeting, I would love to have a discussion with everybody about how good standing seam and metal roofs are for these older buildings. And, you know, around where I live, a lot of the
that's a
commissions.
discussion for a not special.
Exactly, exactly.
meeting. All right. Earl and Toby, then, so we will not be considering anything about the roofs for any of the buildings currently on the property or the new sheds at this time. We're just focused on the changes of design for the sheds.
For the sheds, correct.
Mhm. Do you gentlemen have any additional questions?
I do
Nope.
not.
Okay. And I actually need to ask that, as both Julie and Nicola are members of the public who are present, then you have the opportunity to ask questions as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Katrina, is there anything else you wish to ask? Wish to
No.
offer? Okay.
No, not at this time.
All right. And I guess just to confirm, these sheds are installed directly on the ground, or is there did you
Yeah.
put, yep, directly on the
There's
ground?
no, you know, horses don't like floors.
Right.
They're directly on the ground. And our horses in particular don't like floors because they're not used to barns. So,
All right, then that, Toby or Earl, I will take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Seconded.
Good. And all in favor?
Aye.
All right, and we've closed the public hearing. And so at this point, it's our discussion. Toby and Earl, your thoughts?
I'm fine with the changes.
I'm
Horses-
fine with the
horses-
changes.
Horses need shade.
All right, then, with that input, then I will accept a motion to approve the application for the changes to the design of the sheds as presented.
Also move.
Seconded.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The motion carried, and you're all set, Katrina. Tell
thank
Dave,
you very much. I really appreciate it.
to keep building.
Okay, we will do that. And what's the latest date that we can come to you in for the regular May meeting? I assume 22nd?
Let's see what I am in May, 1, 2, 3, 4. Our meeting is Wednesday, the 22nd.
Yeah.
And so that would be on, if you have a new application, the deadline for that is this Thursday.
Okay, so you probably won't hear anything from us for the regular meeting because of the move and everything. We're moving on the 22nd. So
Okay.
we'll see if we need a special meeting in June, but hopefully we won't.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
Great.
you.
Thanks.
Good luck with the move.
Thank you. I'm gonna go now unless you need some public for your side of the meeting.
No, the horses need you.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
will do. Take care.
Dana.
Bye.
All right, then I will open the public hearing for 540 Route 169. And Nicola and Julie, you can present your application. If you have your design, then you want to call it up, otherwise
Oh, I can call it up.
I put it on my screen so I can call it up.
Okay. Just lost you. Okay, no, that was my fault.
Are you able to share?
Oh.
Or are they blocked? Are you blocked?
Well,
No, it says all participants, so we should be good.
hold on one second. Okay, sorry.
It's been a
I've
while.
got it.
It's been a while since I've used Zoom.
And we're teachers too,
I
so
know.
you'd think
Share
we'd
screen.
remember.
There we go. There we go. Okay.
You got it?
Back, yes, I'm back to
Oh, there it
technology.
is. Yep,
Yes.
there it is.
Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
So we would like to put in an above ground pool that sinks into the ground 2 feet. So it's 5 feet total. So 3 feet would be out of the ground, 2 feet into the ground. We will have an 8 by 24 foot deck in the back with the black metal wrought iron railings. There'll be gates to go up, closing the pool off on either side. And we will hide pumps and, well, there'll be one pump and one heater behind the deck or under the deck, depending on how if the height works. But if it's too high to go under, it would go right behind. There'll be space behind. I know we spoke the other day about like trellising it, but we can fit it behind. So there's no option of that being seen. The front facade will be the field stones, similar, or the same as the rock wall that's behind it. And the gates will be the same as the railing, the same black.
Where will the gates, specifically in the design, where will the gates be?
They're
That,
right here.
Oh, there. Okay.
And-
Right,
So
right
where
at the bottom of the stairs.
those diagonal lines are.
Yes,
Mm.
yeah,
Yep.
at the bottom. And the railing is 36 inches high per code. So that's,
So the gate, so the gate starts at the foot of the stairs, correct?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
for security.
Yep.
Because we have to block, we have to secure the pool.
And what's on the exterior sides of the gate? It looks like the pool fence itself ends at the top end of the deck at the top of the stairs? Or does it extend out a little bit and come down along the side of the stairway? So you've got, let's see if I can do it. You've got the gate, and then you've got your upper fence here. So it's one solid, it blocks the side access, basically.
Yes, blocks the side access. So that railing blocks any access from the back or the side.
Good. Right. And that will tie into the
This
stone,
rock, yeah.
right? But it'll
Yep,
tie,
so-
will the gate tie into the stone walls?
Yes. So the stone will go all the way to the gate, so there won't be any pool visible. It'll wrap around right to the gate, or maybe a
Yep.
little beyond, where, however it needs to be, so that there's no pool visible.
There's a gate on each side, right? Okay.
Yes.
Is that the design of the fence, that it's, I don't know how you, squares?
Field stones.
No, the fence along the top of the deck.
Oh, that, yeah.
Just wrought iron spindles.
Okay. Are they coated, or are they just wrought iron? Raw wrought iron.
Raw wrought iron.
Okay.
It's hard to say.
It is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm a little surprised that the front section of the pool doesn't have to be fenced in. for safety, is it just where you've got the decking that it has to be fenced?
Yes,
Yeah.
because there'll be little like steps going into the pool right here. Oh, you can't see what my pen is doing. There's little, can you see this? Little
Yep.
steps going into the pool. Like, I'm not 100% honestly sure where they are. I think they're like right on the side or the back right here.
Mhm.
So there's no access to the pool because it's 3 feet above.
Right.
So there's no access to the pool in the front. It's just in the back. So the gate is what stops people from getting in.
Right. So the 3-foot wall in front is considered a sufficient barrier on its own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
And that was the first question we actually asked the pool company when they talked about sinking it. We said, would we have to have a fence all the way around it because of that? And they said, no, you just need a locking like ladder, which is what the pool will come with, like a locking ladder in the back. But we're not keeping that. That will go away. And this will happen. And then we'll put floating steps inside of the pool.
Okay.
Pat is joining us, so
Pat joined us? Okay.
he will join us momentarily.
Okay.
And it's, let's see, so if we're looking at dimensions, we've got width of pool is,
16 by 24.
so the 16 is
Front to back.
east-west. Okay. So 24, and then how wide, looking to see if you have stair width. Stair width is probably,
And I don't. They're standard stairs. Oh, you mean this way they would be,
Yeah.
the stairs on this side would be 3 feet. This side.
On each side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
and they are going to be wood stairs.
Yes. Same as the deck
Right.
floor.
Okay.
See if I got.
Looks pretty thorough.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can get Pat, if he's come on yet. I don't see him, he hasn't popped up. Just give me a moment here, please. Toby and Earl, if you have any additional questions while we're waiting for Pat.
I don't. I'm having seen it last week was very helpful,
Mhm.
and having Nicole explain the program here. It looks great.
Let's see. Go ahead, Toby.
I don't have any additional questions. Same thing, having seen the site, it all makes sense now.
Yep.
All right. And I have one more question that may come up is what's the distance between the stone wall and your pool? The one you're building, the screening stone wall and your pool.
Well, I'm not 100% sure on that. That's going to be what the builder needs to tell us, so that we want it to be as close as we can, but we don't want to damage the pool. So it's
Right.
going to have to be we want it to be flush with it, but there might have to be a little gap in there just to not damage pool, but it
Sure.
would be right up to it.
Right. Okay. Potentially. Okay. I'll just make a note of there will be some
A little, yeah. A little air space.
Pat, are you, no, Pat, are you Google Pixel 7?
Yes, I am.
Okay, give me a moment. I can rename you. Oops. Okay, good. Pat, we're just at the beginning of the public hearing for Nicola and Julie at 5:40 for the pool. And this is the updated design that they've presented, which basically, rather than putting a front deck and stools, encloses the front facade of the pool in a stone wall similar to the fieldstone wall that is behind it. Use it, and that will be the height of the pool. And also, the deck is enclosed for safety with wrought iron rail. And then 2 gates where you see the stairs on either side of the pool. Those will be closed off by wrought iron gates as well.
Okay.
And the design really indicates their desire to sink the pool into the landscape. So that it will, none of the equipment to operate it will either be behind the deck or under the deck, so that it will be screened as well. So their desire to sink it into the landscape so that it is not intrusive.
And this is still a 4-foot deep pool.
It's a 5-foot deep pool.
All right, so 3 feet out of the ground, 2 feet in the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry I wasn't able to get anything together for getting over there today. I was hoping that was going to work out better.
Yeah.
The rest of us all saw it, and so that helped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to go in. I don't know if you've looked at, Pat, if you looked at Maryland's.
Yeah, I looked at a GPS layout of the property.
It's going to go next, like it shows in the diagram, next to the barn, but really close to a rear stone wall. So it's at the far end of what is her backyard, up to the stone wall that's that divides that backyard.
Right. So thinking off the top of my head, the only way you really be able to see it mostly is if you're driving from south to north looking left, correct?
Correct. Yes. And with this, what you'll see are you'll see a new stone wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you will probably just see the south stairs and part of the and the deck and part of the safety railing.
Okay, and no more like the bar and stools or
No.
Okay.
And the decking is wood. The railings are going to be black, so they'll recede into the background.
Did you already have a contractor lined up for doing that type of stone wall around the pool?
We have 2 options. Either our landscape company will do it, or the person that's doing the deck would do it. So we're kind of depending on time, because you know, we're not sure now when the pool company can do the pool. So we have 2 different contractors that could both do what we want to do. We're just waiting now to see who's available to do it,
Right.
based on when the pool company is available.
And is it and it's actually going to be a stone wall. It's not just like is it like a veneer
No,
on
no.
the surface?
It would be a field stone wall like the stone wall that's behind it.
Okay, gotcha.
In terms of the pool equipment, how is it powered? It's powered by electricity, right?
Yeah. We already have electricity going to the barn, and so we are using that electricity.
So you'll run it underground?
Yep.
connect-
Yep. Yep.
We've talked with somebody already about that.
In the top right of the schematic, is that archway that goes through the stone wall?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, I got you.
Realistically, the site of it will be from as one is going past the driveway, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. A straight on shot to the house. I mean, you're not going to see it. It is that passing view. I will say that building a stone wall is quite in depth and much more of a project than trying to block it with bushes or block it with a lattice fence. So it's a considerable undertaking to be mindful of trying to disguise it the best they can. So.
Obviously, they have people who will do the job for them. And I think it's a thoughtful way it's a much more permanent way to shield the pool, a much more successful way than shrubbery that
Right.
fails to grow. Or
Yeah. Well, that was our concern, definitely, or having tiny little shrubs, or
yes, things that in 50 years might shield your pool, but
Right. That's not what you're right. It is a much bigger undertaking. It's probably going to be a lot more expense than we even want. But it was important to us to have everything sink into the landscape. If we could have no railing and no gate, if we could just have like the pool kind of like tucked into the stone wall, that would be the idea. What we really would like is to have the pool behind the stone wall completely hidden from view, but unfortunately our leaching fields are back there. So that's why we have to have it out here. So the idea is to have everything just kind of blend in and sink in. No plastic showing, no white showing, no, nothing that looks like I keep kind of using the word lagoon, like pushed into the
Yeah.
like pond, like, just blue.
Out of curiosity, what was the I mean, I know above ground pools are considerably cheaper than having to do an in-ground pool, but with already having to sink it into the ground, did you guys do a cost comparison between the two?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's about 130,000 to do the in-ground pool the way and that would have required a big fence situation. And we didn't want versus, this is, I don't know, not 10%, 20% of the cost. It's a very different situation. And we also didn't
Right.
want to have a big fence going in the middle of our yard.
Right.
Yeah.
So it kind of helped on a cost situation, because we also need to make sure we can upkeep this house, not spend all the
Right.
money on a pool. But it was an aesthetic situation or want as well, because what we didn't want was to gate, how are we going to fence this off without having it look really odd?
Yeah.
and you mentioned briefly lights. You're not installing any extra lighting around it.
Light? Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, there's no plan for that at the moment. I think that if there was plan, then we would come back to you, but we have lighting from the barn and, so we really don't.
Good.
I don't think we need that.
Just kind of trying to cover all the possible options.
Yeah.
All right. Toby, Earl, or Pat, any further questions?
No,
I don't have any.
What's so the railing on the top is iron, you said?
Wrought
Yes.
iron.
Yeah,
And that had to be the same spacing to code, correct?
yes, the height is, the code height is 36 inches.
And what was the spacing on the rungs?
I think it has to be 1 foot apart from each other.
Something close to that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about okay, the gate is at the bottom of the stairs, I see.
Yeah, one on each side.
Yep.
Any further questions, Pat?
No, I think it's a way of blocking the pool that I didn't even come to my mind. I think it's creative. I think it kind of blends in, if it's matching to the background. One question, so your wooden deck, painting, staining, what was the plan for that?
Staining.
Staining? Yeah, I think it really is a heck of an undertaking for trying to blend it in. I like it. I really do.
Good, thank you.
And gentlemen, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Pat.
seconded.
Thank you, Toby. If there's no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. That's unanimous. So the public hearing is closed. Discussion, gentlemen. I heard Pat's comment.
No, I think it's great. I love how they built it right in, basically.
I think it's a very elegant solution.
I agree.
The one concern I would have as if I were the homeowner, and sorry I haven't met you guys yet, is maintenance of the wall of the above ground pool that meets the stone wall. Because sometimes they have to tighten the lining and this and that.
Right.
And that's something to work out with your contractors or whatever. It's just to be mindful of, because is it going to be something that like you're thinking of being able to like walk on the rocks and
No.
jump in or anything? Like that's the
no.
thing. You don't want the rock to fall off the side of your pool. That'd be a
No.
bad day.
No, and it's only 5 feet deep, so I don't know how much jumping will encourage, but people can jump from the back. There's plenty of deck. They don't need to stand on the rocks. We can put a little sign, no standing on the rocks.
There you go.
And in this section, we're not supposed to have engagement with the homeowner. If seems like we're in agreement, I will accept a motion to approve the elegant application as presented.
So
Make a motion.
Pat and Earl.
Earl.
Second. All right, is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Your motion is unanimous. So you are good to go.
Thank you.
And it
Thank you.
really is an elegant solution. We will probably use you as an example.
Well, we love that.
Awesome.
So, it's 2 artists here, so we try.
It really is an interesting idea, because something I would, a lot of times there's certain kind of shrubs that you can plant that stay thick all year round.
Yeah.
And that comes with upkeep, or you could do a lattice fence, but then that kind of separates off your pool from the rest of your yard. So this is a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Well, and here's to hoping it all works out. And if you get hot in the summer, please feel free to come swimming.
Thank you so much for working hard on coming up with a really nice solution, and a belated welcome to the neighborhood.
Yes.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye now.
Bye.
All right, gentlemen, that's brings our special meeting to a close. Just to catch you up, we approved, Pat, we approved the Dawson's the changes to the Dawson shed, which involved updating the height, the dimensions. They're 14 by 14 with the about an 8-foot porch on the front.
No porch. No porch.
Okay, the 8 overhang and 18 and then the overhang roof peak is now 6 feet on top of the 10-foot building, so they've come to, it's a total of 16 feet high, and they've slightly reduced the front of the shed itself, the solid pieces of the shed itself, to about 1 foot to 1.5 feet maximum if they decide to put them in, and they'll do this for all 4 sheds. And then they have not decided on a roof as roofing material as of yet, so they'll be back to us when they have come up with a solution for the roofs for the sheds. And like I said, they formally withdrew everything about roofs for their application.
Good.
All right. So with that, we're through in time for Toby to get to his next meeting. Thanks so much
Yeah.
for making this happen. I look for a motion to adjourn. Motioning to adjourn.
I'll move, Earl.
That Earl
Second.
second. All right. Are we all in favor?
I,
Very
Aye.
good. Thank you.
Who seconded that motion?
You seconded it.
Pat did?
Okay, fine. Pat seconded it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Bye, Toby.
thanks, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
That's public hearings in less than an hour, so way to go, team.
That's pretty good, I would say. Yep.
Yes.
Have a good week, everyone.
Have a
All
good
right.
week.
Take care.
Bye.